Okay, people, loads to fit in between now and the end of the show, so let's get cracking. The transgender convicted rapist, now known as Isla Bryson, won't be imprisoned in a women's jail anymore. The First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, earlier confirmed that Bryson, formerly known as Adam Graham, won't be incarcerated at Cornton Vale Women's Prison. Joining me now is the pro-independence Alba Party MP, Neil Hanvey, and he represents the Kirkcaldy and Cowdenbeath area, so I'm going to go to him shortly. Okay, fair enough. Which is just as well, because joining me right now is Austin Sheridan, who's the former SNP Glasgow City Councillor. Austin, there we go. Fantastic. That phrase, better late than never, can be replaced with better earlier than never, I suppose. I want to know from you, Austin, what you make of this. Has sense finally prevailed? Because I seem to remember that maybe you were quite in favour of this, the Gender Recognition Act. Some people were saying, well, it makes stuff like this more likely, doesn't it, that a male rapist can be put in a women's prison? Now Nicola Sturgeon has said this individual, Adam Graham, won't be in a women's prison. Have you not just tied yourselves in knots here?
Not at all, because this person didn't have a gender recognition certificate, so the legislation that was going through the Scottish Parliament had no impact on the process that happened here. In terms of the decision that has been made, I do welcome the decision. I had trust that the Scottish Prison Service would run the risk assessment, and they have a great track record of carrying these out for anyone who commits these kind of offences. And I believe that they've reached the correct decision as well. And they've done it in a very timely manner. What I would say is that obviously this particular prisoner has gained a lot of media attention. I believe that it would be potentially appropriate to review how we manage these kind of situations moving forward. What has been deeply inappropriate is how some elected members in the Westminster Parliament and in the Scottish Parliament have unfortunately used this situation to attack the trans community generally. Trans people should not pay the crime of predators.
I get that. I'm just going to have to get you to be quite specific on that, because I understand what you're saying, and it is a similar argument when they say a radical Islamist terror attack and people go, well, it's all Muslims or something like that, and it's not, okay? But have you got cast iron examples of people using this to attack the trans community as a whole?
Yeah, you can have a look at my Twitter page and the replies that I've been receiving over the past 40 hours.
You said elected members of the Scottish Parliament, though. Go on, no, seriously, you did say elected members of the Scottish Parliament.
Yeah, I have, Russell. I believe that Russell Finley's tweet, and I replied back to him. I called him out on Twitter. I called him a disgrace. I said that he was using this situation in order to attack trans rights and the wider community. I believe that is wrong. I believe that an elected member of a parliament, whether it's Westminster, Scottish Parliament or wherever, legislators should be sticking to facts and not putting out tweets and misinformation that then turns into hatred towards trans people and those who support trans rights. Unfortunately, that's what's happened over the past 40
slightly
hours.
Shaky ground.
I'm in politics, right? And I give my opinions, and maybe I'm fair game to be open to attack, but trans people are just simply trying to live their lives, and they should not be open to the kind of abuse that they've been receiving.
No one is saying that they should be open, but when you just said there that we should be sticking to facts, I would argue that the fact that this man with his genitalia intact raped 2 women and then was put in a women's prison implies that there's something horrendously wrong going on in Scotland. That's a fact. What about the fact
that's why I said I believe there should be a review. There should definitely be a review of how this situation is handled. It's clear that this person is a predator, clear that this person is not safe to be around women. We must do our utmost to defend women, but it also shouldn't mean that trans people, who the vast majority, as you said, are decent, law-abiding citizens, they shouldn't pay the price of a disgusting predator.
Okay. Do you think that the SNP choosing to go with the Gender Recognition Act to the extent that they've gone is an odd hill for Nicola Sturgeon to want to die on when it comes to, say, talking about Westminster blocking policy? Because, well, for example, I suppose I'll just ask you, Austin, would you be confident putting that to a public vote?
Well, it already was put to the public vote. It was in political parties' manifestos, and then the MSPs that were elected, they're going to be delivering on that. In terms of the SNP's handling of government in general, I mean, the latest opinion poll put the SNP on 53 Westminster seats, up 5 from what they have currently. So at this moment in time, it would appear that it has not damaged support for the SNP. People judge political parties on their records. Generally speaking, I would say that the vast majority of the public are sympathetic to transgender rights. They wouldn't want to compete them for no reason. What I believe has happened during this story, and what we have to understand, is that this has really upset a lot of people, and it's quite rightly so. And a lot of women are extremely concerned, and they have a right to be concerned. What people don't have the right to do is to spread transphobic hate, which unfortunately it's opened up floodgates for that.
Okay, look, thank you very much, Sheridan. Austin Sheridan there, the former SNP Glasgow City Councillor.